Imagine this for a moment. It is early in the morning. The clock shows 6:14 a.m. The house is quiet. You're standing in the kitchen making your morning coffee while your children are still asleep in their rooms. Suddenly, three loud knocks hit the door. Bang, bang, bang. You stop moving. Your heart starts beating faster. You slowly walk toward the front door and look through the peephole. Outside, you see two officers. They're wearing dark jackets, and across their chest you see three large letters. ICE. One of the officers steps closer to the door and knocks again, this time louder. Open the door. We need to speak with you. At that exact moment, something very important is happening. The next 60 seconds could decide the future of your life. You could walk away free and continue your normal day, or by the afternoon you could be sitting inside a detention center, and by the end of the week you could be on a plane leaving the country. It sounds dramatic, but this situation happens more often than people realize. And here is the shocking reality. Most immigrants who face this situation make one simple but critical mistake within the first few seconds. They open the door, they answer a question, or they sign a document, and just like that, their entire case can collapse before it even begins. But today, we are going to talk about something extremely important, because by the end of this video, you will understand the exact words you should say and the mistakes you must avoid if immigration officers ever appear at your door. And trust me, this knowledge can make a life-changing difference. Why most people lose? These situations, let's talk honestly about why so many immigrants lose their cases in situations like this. It is not because they are criminals. It is not because they do not deserve to live in the United States. In many cases, it happens because they simply do not understand their legal rights. Immigration officers are trained professionals. They know the law very well. They also know that most people feel scared, confused, and pressured in stressful situations. And because of that fear, people often make decisions that work against them. Let's look at three very common traps that officers sometimes use. Trap number 1, the friendly conversation. Many people imagine immigration officers arriving aggressively or shouting orders, but that is not always how it happens. Sometimes the officer speaks calmly and politely. They might say something like, "Hello, we just need to ask you a few questions." Or, "We are looking for someone with a specific name. Can you help us?" It sounds harmless. It feels like a simple conversation. But here's the important detail most people do not realize. The moment you answer certain questions, you may unintentionally give them information they need. For example, if they ask, "Are you Carlos Martinez?" and you respond, "Yes, that's me," you have just confirmed your identity. That single sentence can become the first piece of evidence in their investigation. This is why many legal experts say speaking too quickly can sometimes create problems you did not intend. Trap number 2, the warrant confusion. Another situation happens when an officer shows a document and says they have a warrant. Many people hear the word warrant and immediately believe they must open the door. But in reality, there are different types of warrants, and only one of them allows officers to legally enter a home without permission. A judicial warrant is signed by a judge in a court of law. This type of warrant carries legal authority for officers to enter a property. However, there is another document often called an administrative warrant. This type is usually signed by an immigration official rather than a judge. While it may look official, it does not always provide the same legal authority to enter a home without permission. This difference is extremely important, yet many people are unaware of it. Because of that confusion, they may open the door without fully understanding their rights. Trap number 3, pressure to sign papers. Another situation can occur if someone is detained. Sometimes officers present documents and say something like, "If you sign this, the process will go faster," or "This will make things easier." But immigration attorneys often warn people to be careful about signing documents without fully understanding them. Some papers may involve agreements that affect legal rights or future options. For example, certain documents may involve agreeing to leave the country voluntarily instead of fighting a case in court. Because of this, many lawyers advise individuals to review documents carefully and seek legal advice before signing anything. Understanding your legal protections. Now let's talk about something very important, your rights. Many people do not realize that the United States Constitution protects certain rights for individuals within the country. For example, the Fourth Amendment addresses protections related to searches and entry into homes. It generally requires proper legal authorization for law enforcement to enter a private residence without permission. Another important protection is the right to remain silent. People are not required to answer every question asked by officers, especially questions about personal background or immigration status. Additionally, individuals have the right to request legal representation before answering certain questions. These protections exist to help ensure that people understand their options before making important decisions. Practical steps. People often discuss legal experts often share several general recommendations for situations involving law enforcement. One common suggestion is to remain calm and avoid panic. Another is to ask questions respectfully if officers request entry into a home. Some people choose to communicate through a door or window instead of opening the door immediately. Others prefer to verify documents before allowing entry. In situations involving questioning, individuals sometimes choose to state that they would like to speak with a lawyer before answering detailed questions. And if documents are presented, many attorneys advise reviewing them carefully and seeking legal guidance. What if someone is stopped? Outside. Sometimes encounters happen outside the home. For example, at a bus stop, workplace, or during a traffic stop. In those situations, people often ask a simple question. Am I free to leave? If the answer is yes, they may choose to calmly walk away. If the answer is no, the situation may involve a formal detention, and at that point, many individuals choose to request legal advice. Remaining calm and respectful can be very important in any interaction. Final thoughts. The most important thing to understand is this: knowing your rights does not make someone a criminal. It simply means being informed and prepared. Many people face difficult situations not because they did something wrong, but because they did not know what options were available to them. Information can make a big difference. Understanding how the system works allows people to make smarter decisions for themselves and their families. If you found this information helpful, consider sharing it with friends or relatives who might benefit from understanding these topics as well. Awareness and knowledge can help communities stay informed and prepared. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay calm, and always take the time to understand your rights.